I'm on one of the busiest streets in central London. The noise, the crowds, the double-decker buses roaring past. Just a 1-minute walk from here is a nearly hidden entrance that leads you down and down and down, away from it all. That's the promise of the Zedwell. But what they conveniently leave out of the brochure is the faint rumble of the tube line, the maze-like corridors, and the complete disorienting blackness of a room without a single window. So let's go inside and see what you're really paying for.
The first thing you notice is the maze of corridors leading to around 200 subterranean rooms.
Okay, so this is the room. I've booked a 12 square metre double room, which the hotel calls a cocoon room. It's essentially a small windowless room, but it is surprisingly spacious. I was actually expecting a 10 square metre room, so I came into the room and it does feel 2 square metres bigger than what I was expecting. We've got a double bed here. Now, the bed is actually sitting on a wooden platform. The bed takes up maybe 2/3 of that. In front of the bed, there is a space which is probably about 1.5 by 1.5 metres, where there's nothing. They could have done something with this, but they haven't. It does mean it feels a little bit bigger, but it also means that it's missing some things that would be nice to have in the room. For instance, there's no work desk in the room, there's no safe in the room, there's no wardrobe in the room, other than 2 hooks on the wall where you can hang things, and there's no TV in the room. Now, I don't mind not having a TV, and I think that's all part of the concept that they're aiming for. They're trying to go for a peaceful environment. So you're 5 stories underground. You can't hear the sounds of the city. They don't want to introduce new artificial sounds, so having no TV, I think that's a great idea. I never turn the TV on in a hotel room anyway. I think a lot of people don't never turn the TV on, but it would be really nice to have a work desk, and there's space for that. You've got that big space at the end of the bed, and they're doing nothing with it. However, the place feels quite nice. It's a lot nicer than I was expecting. It feels more spacious than I was expecting. Let's take a look at the bathroom. Now, the bathroom is actually really nice as well. It's got a really nice design to it. I mean, it's simple. It's not a fancy bathroom like you'd find in a really fancy high-end hotel, but it is really nicely appointed. You've got this mirror here with a backlight behind it, which follows along that same theme with that edge lighting that we have along the bed. It's just continuing that theme into the bathroom. And it's just the normal bathroom things. You've got a sink. It comes with a thing of hand wash there. You also have a toilet down here, and coming into here there's a shower. Now there's no door here. Now this door here can close. You can close the bathroom off to the bedroom, but you can't close the shower off to the other room, but this bit of glass does the trick anyway. And we'll just come into the shower. Now, if you look up here, you've got a nice big rainfall shower head and some products here. We have body wash and shampoo, but sadly no conditioner. Some people comment on hearing noise from the tube lines that run underneath the hotel. Well, I couldn't hear this from my room. I could hear it in other areas of the hotel, particularly the area around where one would stand while waiting for the lift. It's more or less a faint rumble, and it shouldn't really concern too many people. After spending a night at the Zedwell, I discovered another noise that may be a bigger concern for a lot of people. There's a loud, distinctive noise when running the tap and after using the shower. Listen to this. And the toilet flushes an incredible pressure, like flushing a toilet on a plane. Now listen to the noise it makes when I flush the toilet.
Maybe they can't use regular plumbing underground and they have to resort to the type of plumbing that is used on boats and in temporary buildings.
So let's see what this mattress is like. Now, sitting on it, it feels very soft. Now, I'll just lie down because sometimes a mattress might feel soft when you sit on it, but it might be totally fine when you're lying on it. So just have a lie down on that. Yeah, it feels very soft. Yeah, that feels very, very soft. I think the average person would like a mattress that's a little bit firmer than this one. It might be fine for a night or two, but I probably wouldn't want to be staying here for a week or longer. Guests staying at the Zedwell Hotel get free wireless internet access. Let's see how fast that is. Now that's pretty fast Wi-Fi, and you'd want it to be fast too, because being 5 floors underground, you're not going to get a mobile phone signal, so you're going to be absolutely relying on that Wi-Fi.
The hotel's public areas are limited to a lobby area near the reception desk, where you can find a few tables to sit at. With no desk in your room, this is the only spot you can work from. If this hotel was a biscuit, what biscuit would it be?
If this hotel were a biscuit, it would be a Lotus Biscoff. Like a Biscoff, the Zedwell is minimalist but trendy. Zedwell's whole vibe is stripped down windowless, Zen-inspired rooms. Biscoff has a similarly minimalist appearance. Plain brown, no chocolate coating, no cream filling. Yet it's perceived as stylish and modern thanks to clever branding. Like Zedwell, which attracts travellers intrigued by its unique concept, Biscoff has a loyal fan base who love its distinctive spiced caramel flavour, even though it looks unassuming. Both pair well with right experience. Biscoff shines when paired with coffee and a cosy cafe. Zedwell works when paired with a right trip. You're not there for the room, you're there for the central location and the novelty. Both stand out in a crowded market by doing something different. Biscoff with its taste, Zedwell with its cocoon-like rooms.
If you're staying at the Zedwell Tottenham Court Road Hotel, you're not just in central London, you're right in the thick of it. Let's take a look at the neighbourhood around the hotel. Let's start with the obvious, transport. The hotel sits directly above Tottenham Court Road station, with the closest entrance only a 1-minute walk from the hotel. You've got the Central and Northern lines, and also the Elizabeth line, meaning that Heathrow Airport is less than a 40-minute ride away. And you can get to places like Paddington or Liverpool Street in just a few minutes. Staying here means that you're also just a minute away from Oxford Street, London's busiest shopping street. First things first, where can you get a good coffee near the hotel? When looking for my morning coffee, I search out independent cafes, as they're usually a good deal better than a chain cafe. Fortunately, staying at the Zedwell means that I don't have to go far to find a decent cup of coffee. Just head across the street to Elwyn. The coffee is great here. Want to see the sights? They don't come much bigger than the British Museum, which is only a 5-minute walk away. You can see the Rosetta Stone, Egyptian mummies, and entire Greek temples, all for free. Just behind that, Bloomsbury is full of Georgian squares, blue plaques, and literary history. Just a short walk south of Oxford Street brings you to Soho and Covent Garden. Here you'll find Soho Square. Soho is packed with pubs, bars, and restaurants. If you're in the mood for a pint, the Dog and Duck is a proper London pub, and George Orwell used to drink there. Right now I'm on 5th Street, where one single block here packs in more history than you might expect. At number 25th Street, you'll find a blue plaque marking the house where a young Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart lived in 1764 when he was just 8 years old. Just a few doors down is Bar Italia, a 24-hour cafe that's been serving strong coffee since 1949. It famously inspired the pop song of the same name, and if that wasn't enough, look just above it. That's the site where in 1926, John Logie Baird gave his first public demonstration of television. And right across the street, Ronnie Scott's, one of the world's most famous jazz clubs. All of that is in just one short block of 5th Street. And that's Soho for you. Every corner has a story. Crossing Charing Cross Road takes us out of Soho and into Covent Garden, and the atmosphere shifts almost instantly. You're now in Theatreland, where historic venues like the Adelphi and Lyceum theatres are just a short walk away. This is the heart of London's West End, where musicals and plays run nightly and stage doors buzz with life after each performance. But Covent Garden isn't just about the big shows. Tucked away behind colourful buildings is Neal's Yard, one of central London's most photogenic spots. It's a tiny courtyard filled with independent cafes, health food shops and natural beauty brands. And it's a world away from the busy streets just seconds around the corner. Keep walking and you'll come to Seven Dials, a historic junction where 7 streets converge around a central column. Once a rough part of town, it's now home to boutiques, bakeries and the kind of niche shops that only seem to exist in London. We've now walked 10 minutes from the hotel. Keep going for another 5 minutes and you'll come to Covent Garden Piazza. Covent Garden has always been around layers. It was once a fruit and veg market, and that heritage lives on in the covered market building, now packed with craft stalls and buskers performing under the arches. Whether you're into shopping, street theatre or just people watching with a coffee in hand, it's easy to spend a few hours here without even realising how much time has passed.
I paid £93 to stay at the Zedwell, although that was on a Sunday night, which is the cheapest night to stay in central London. It would have cost me more than twice as much to stay a day earlier on a Saturday night. While it's a reasonable price for such a central location, the hotel has a lot of extra charges for things that would normally be free at other hotels. For instance, it costs £15 to store a single bag before you check in. This can leave a really bad taste, making a supposedly budget-friendly stay suddenly not so budget-friendly. So taking that into consideration, should you book a stay at an underground hotel? Here's the breakdown. The pros are legit. The location is 10 out of 10. You can't get more central. If you aren't bothered by the sound of the plumbing and a little rumble from the trains, the total darkness can give you a seriously deep sleep. The rooms are clean, the showers are powerful, and if you snag a good deal, the price can be great value for the location. But the cons are significant. The windowless rooms are a deal breaker for many. The noise from the tube and the plumbing may be a concern for some people, and the lack of basic amenities like a kettle, TV, or a proper wardrobe is a major issue if you want a traditional hotel stay. And charging extra for luggage storage just feels cheap. So who is this for? Zedwell is perfect for a very specific person. It's for the solo traveller or a young couple on a quick 1 or 2 night trip who plan to be out exploring all day and just need a clean, dark place to crash. It's for the minimalist who values sleep over everything else and sees the lack of distractions as a feature, not a bug. And who should avoid it? I'd say families, business travellers who need a desk, and anyone who enjoys a view from their hotel room. If you are even slightly claustrophobic, just don't do it. And if the idea of paying to store your bag for a few hours makes you angry, this isn't the place for you. Although there are services like Bounce and Stasher where you can pay a lower price to store your bags at the shop across the road. The truth about Zedwell is that it's a hotel of extremes. It's not just a place to stay. It's an experience you have to knowingly sign up for. It's a brilliant idea for the right person and a terrible one for the wrong person. It succeeds in its mission to be a sanctuary for sleep, but only if you can live without a long list of things you have to give up. So, don't book this hotel until you've asked yourself what you actually want from a hotel. If the answer is just an amazing location and a dark, quiet room to sleep in, you might have just found your perfect London base. For everyone else, you've been warned. After seeing all this, the big question is, would you stay here? Subterranean sanctuary or a minimalist prison cell? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you want more honest hotel reviews, make sure you're subscribed, and see you in the next one.